Like and subscribe if you're interested in more things Halloween. Today, bringing you the famous, infamous, and rare Hannibal Lecter. I know everybody really covets this Gemmy. I believe it was made in 2006, maybe 2010, something like that, but I don't follow the specifics like that. But I know that he's really coveted because a lot of times his mask breaks. Well, in this one, guys, I was really fortunate. I was in Florida at my other location, and somebody about an hour and a half away was selling Hannibal. So I seen it. I contacted the guy, and then I raced over there, and it was beat up. He was in bad shape, and it was only $400. I know he's going for upwards of $1,000, but on average maybe $600 to $800. And at this moment, 2023. But he was really beat up. He wasn't working. His head actually came off. And so I brought it over to my guy, John Gemmy. And about 2 weeks later, he turned it back to me. And then here he is. And he's all fixed up. And he's in perfect condition. All his electronics, everything works perfectly. All his sensors work. Right now I have him on a sensor. So I can remote control him and check him out.
Quid pro quo, I tell you things, you tell me things. Just one more thing. Love your suit.
So as you can see, the mask works really good. He's really cool.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? Wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lambs. I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
I know Hannibal has a lot of phrases.
I know now that they will never ever let me out while I'm still alive. Closer, please. Closer. Well, hello, Clarice.
Yeah, so Hannibal's pretty cool.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
He's in a straitjacket, and
I have a few conditions of my own.
he has several phrases
I tell you things, you tell me things.
from the movie Silence of the Lambs.
Love your suit.
Well, that's Hannibal.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? Wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lambs.
It's pretty special, especially when he works completely and then everything is in perfect condition.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. I know now that they will never ever let me out while I'm still alive. Closer, please. Closer.
Hannibal Lecter, and you know, he's very well made. The Gemmys from that time period were exceptionally well done. Underneath, they're very mechanical. It's not a lot of digital. There's some digital for the automation, but this is a robot before robots were created, right? And they did a really good job. They structured it really well, and they stand the test of time. Definitely durable, something that's going to last a lifetime. The technology is not too complicated, so if wires need to be replaced, it's not too difficult. And it's just a life-size Gemmy. I mean, how much cooler can you get, right? You have Hannibal in your presence, right? Where in the movies, you know, he was a really cool character, very iconic.
I have a few conditions of my own.
Anthony Hopkins was legendary for this role. He did a few other roles, but he'll always be known as Hannibal.
Quid pro quo, I tell you things, you tell me things.
The character was just extraordinary, right? A serial killer, and he was a man-eater.
Just one more thing.
A cannibal.
Love your suit.
And I told a great story of somebody who's intellectually insane.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? Wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lambs.
an expert at human psychology and manipulating people to doing what he wants them to do.
I do wish we could chat longer. I'm having an old friend for dinner.
And then there were a few spin-offs, and
I know now that they will never ever let me out while I'm still alive.
if you can get your hands on this Hannibal Gemmy at a fair price, I highly recommend it. It's an exceptional product, very well made, and he's here to celebrate Halloween with the rest of the community.
Closer, please. Closer.
Okay guys, switching it up a little bit. This is where Hannibal stays right now with the rest of his crew. Outside, the rest of his crew of serial killers, except for Shorty. He's just from another planet. But
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
as you can see, he's pretty cool.
I have a few conditions of my own.
And when I put him outside, I covered the electronics with plastic just in case it rains and a little bit of water gets over there by any chance.
Quid pro quo, I tell you things, you tell me things.
Then I lock him up
Just one more thing.
in case somebody crazy wants to jump a fence in the middle of the night.
You still wake up sometimes, don't you? Wake up in the dark and hear the screaming of the lamb.
Alright guys, like and subscribe if you're interested in learning more about these Gemmies.